Hello everyone, my name is Nikoya and this is the Yamaha Reface CP. So I just picked this up off of eBay and it is in a non-functional condition because it makes no sound. So we can verify that. And it also has a little dent on the knob there. We can verify that. No sound. Turn the volume up. Still no sound. You can also perform a factory reset by holding the high C key, turning it on, and waiting for these lights to blink. Done a factory reset, still no sound. No sound on any of the models. So, what's going on here is that this keyboard was dropped on its head, and so we have a damaged volume slider, and I'll show you how to diagnose that. So, we'll turn this off for a moment, take out all the screws, which I've done ahead of time, and we'll open it up. Now, we have our volume slider on the side here, and right next to it is the octave slider. So you go up and down the octaves. So I'll set those both to the top. And we'll get out our ohm meter here. So these sliders here, which I have one here, I will zoom in for you. They have 3 pins on the bottom. Now, the 2 that are in line with each other, this one and this one, they are for the actual resistive track. And then the 3rd pin here is for the wiper that slides along it and makes contact. The 2 other pins that you see attached to this plate are simply structural. Now with the slide pot in this orientation, we have the 2 pins on this side and the 1 pin on that side, same as we have it here. So with the volume all the way up, we should see a low resistance between this pin and this pin. And if we attach the probe it with our multimeter, we see that we have no connection at all. Now, the octave is also in this position. And if we probe the exact same terminals on it, you can see that we have, oops, I can hold the probe steady. You can see we have about 12 or 13 ohms. And if we slide it in the other direction, we should see a low resistance between these 2 pins. And we have about 7.2 ohms there. And no connection there. So this potentiometer has gone bad. To get to this potentiometer, we're going to have to remove this board, and that starts with removing the knobs, the knobby-like things, and of course these switch nuts. Really? Nope. Nope. Hey. Hey. And dump the washers off. Keep our workspace organized. So that should be everything from this side. Come to the back here, and some of these screws are already missing because some goon was in here before me not fixing this. So usually there would be 4 screws along here. And now, I haven't taken this board out before, so I don't know if I need to take these screws out or these ones, but I'm going to go for the PCB ones because I think they are right into the plastic. And then we have some plastic tabs here. Do we need to pop those out? We might. Yeah, those aren't too hard. And are we free? Not quite. Oh, there's plastic tabs on the back side here too. I missed those. My bad. Oh, actually a bunch of screws here too. Let me get that. Now, in order to make this a little bit easier on myself, I'm going to unwind the clamp cable tie from this piece here, so now we're completely free. And then just squeeze the tab on these connectors and pull them out. And now we're down to 1 piece. So now we should be able to pop these tabs out as well. Wait, we don't need to pop those tabs out. Never mind. Those are light covers. Okay, my bad. Weird that they have like light covers, but only like these ones are actually covering lights. So my mistake, don't take those off. They're fine. So we can see here that we have our sliders, and those were in here. So that would be like all the way on and all the way off. So the octave slider was working fine. I verified that earlier, but the volume slider was not. And so actually I'm going to take this one out just to give me more room around here so that when I'm soldering, I don't melt that. So I want to desolder this because I need to access the back side of it. So my desoldering gun is all heated up and ready to go. So let's get desoldering. So, are you free? Almost. Let me grab my soldering iron so we can just melt this a little bit. There we go. So, we have our slider out, and as we can see, ooh, actually, as we can feel, this is feeling a little loosey-goosey, so that took a pretty good hit compared to this one, which I have actually repaired, which is feeling nice and solid. So, what we need to do, oh yeah, you can actually, can you see that on the screen here? One of these tabs is actually like slightly lifted even. So, that is going to be why it is not working. All right, so we need to lift these 4 tabs here. Before we do, we want to have a look at the orientation of some of these parts because this is not symmetrical. So in specific, this little brace here at the bottom, which is just structural, it's closer to these pins than it is to this pin. And so when we put it back together, we'll want to remember that. The plastic case is fairly obviously not symmetrical, and it's only going to fit together with the metal overcase in one way, so we don't have to worry too much about that. So let's open this up. I'm just going to pry up these tabs. Remember, don't overbend these because I mean it's whatever, some steel or something that's not designed to be bent over and over again. Take the apparently magnetic backer out of there. And that should be good. So now we can disassemble this. And so we have our slider here, and we have our track. And so these actually go in this orientation with each other. So you can see there's a wide carbon track along this side where, is that the right orientation that I had it? Sure. So there is a wide carbon track here that these fingers go along, and there's a narrow carbon track here which these fingers go along. And in fact, I can even see that these fingers are bent over to the side, and so they're not going to be making proper contact. I don't know what kind of impact would have screwed those up, but it was something apparently. So I'm going to grab my pliers, and actually, do I want to do this with pliers or do I want to do this with a knife? I think I'll grab my knife for this because these are very fine pieces, and I just want to be very gentle with them. So these need to be standing up and not flopped over. And this plastic part on top is threatening to fall off, but it will be fine. So those need to be standing up straight, and we're just going to lift up these ones to make sure that they are going to make good contact when we put everything back together. And then I'm going to grab my contact cleaner. I got my contact cleaner and I'm just going to spray it down a little bit. This does not need to be any sort of fancy contact cleaner. Anything will do just fine. So this contact should be nice and clean. And while we're in here, we'll also clean off the tracks. And we'll probably get a little bit of carbon dust coming up from that. You know, I'm still trying to figure out if I got that the right way around or the wrong way around. Let me shed a little bit more light on the situation, make sure I reassemble this in the right direction. Okay, yeah, so I think it's actually this track here is where this track on this side is where the three of them slide together. I don't know if I can show the reflection of how that's happening in there. I think that's the right way around. But if it's not, we will find out really quickly. The other one that I had apart was much more obvious. I feel like this one is a little bit weird. Yeah, this is the side with the three on them. So we'll take the slider here. We identify the side with the three pins on it. 3 fingers, and we will put that in there. And we will drop it on the ground, because why not? We will double check which way this is going to go around. So that's going to go around that way. Yeah, it's going to go around that way. So we'll put this back in place. This is not exactly super easy to do. Actually, I'm going to assemble this upside down. So this is going to go like that. So the 3 tracks will be that way. Yeah, so the 3 tracks are towards me, so they'll be like that. Oops, I'm completely out of frame, sorry. The 3 track side is going to be towards me. So that's the side with the wider spaced things, notches, tabs. So we'll slide that back in there, and then we will drop this on top. And that should be good. I'm going to obviously test this before I completely put it back together. We are going to slip this in that way. And since I have this one here, I'm going to double check that that is the correct orientation. And then we simply fold the tabs back over. And we make sure to get it nice and tight, without completely crushing everything, of course. Now, I'm just going to do the 2 tabs and then measure the resistance to make sure that this worked. So I should see some connection between these 2 pins, which is kind of hard to do. Like that. That looks pretty good to me. And if we do from the other end as well, see if we can manage that. Yep, we are looking good. So I'm going to fold the other tabs down, and then we can solder this back in place. So we're nice and tight now. That feels much better. So we just have to slip it back into here, like so. And I will center that up a little bit better. And we will solder that. Now, I would like to be done right now, but unfortunately I'm not, because there's actually more damage to this board than I let on initially. The slider is obviously working now. In fact, we can bring my meter back in and confirm that. So if we're all the way to the back here, let's say, we can see that we have some connectivity here. 20 ohms, whatever, that's fine. But if we go between this point here, and we follow this trace around and check this point here, we have nothing again. And the reason for that is that there is a crack in this PCB that runs right along here, and it's split this trace in two. And so I'm gonna have to put a bodge wire between here, where we are getting conductivity, if my probes will actually stay connected, and here, where we aren't getting conductivity. So let me prepare a piece of wire and we'll solder that in there. So now we can check the conductivity between here and here. We got basically 0 ohms. Over here we have, what is that, 1.1 kilo ohms, and over here we have 1.8 kilo ohms. Remember, this is in parallel with everything, because this is just like, I think this one's ground and this is plus 3.3, so slide to the other end. You can see that we have 12 ohms, so our volume control should now work. So we need to assemble this back together. So let me zoom out and actually show you how that works. All right, so we'll clip this not really a light guide thing back on. Is there an orientation for that? I feel like this is probably the orientation. Seems to work. Pop this back into place. Like so. And then we need to hold that up a little bit. And now we do up 50,000 screws. I need to double check which ones of these go in with this bar here. Let me see. So, okay, those should just be in these studs here, so that's fine. Just wanted to make sure that I'm not screwing myself over with all these screws. Yeah, I'm just looking at these ones right here. Is that one supposed to be not having a... These ones have clips in them and this one doesn't, and that confuses me. I might go back and look at the footage and see if I need to pull that back out and redo it, but for now I'm just going to assume it's fine. And if I missed a screw, make sure to tell me which one it was in the comments. I feel like I must have missed a screw in here. Got that one, that one, that one. out of the way. So that one, 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 that one. No, I got all of them, I guess. I'm just psyching myself out. So that'll go there. This gets kind of wrapped around here somehow. No, it's fine. Plug this back in. Well, that's encouraging. Ta-da! All right, so I'm gonna get the knobs back on. You don't have to see that. You don't have to see me do that. And I'm gonna call this done. I'm also gonna order more screws because these are not enough screws to put the case back together. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.